This conference will now be recorded.
So Janvi, there are psychometric tests with 150 questions also. If you would see, there are a couple of psychometric tests with 150 questions. We'll be providing you more psychometric tests tomorrow with 150 questions. And the thing is, MICA keeps on changing the pattern of psychometric test every year. So just because last year it had 150 questions is no guarantee that this year also you will get 150 questions. That's where we have not provided you all psychometric tests with 150 questions. So that is the reason. But in case, one thing is for sure, that whatever the pattern of psychometric section will be there in MICAT 1, you will get the same pattern in MICAT 2. That is a guarantee. But whatever pattern came last year for psychometric is no guarantee of the pattern of psychometric which is going to come this year. And hence we have tried to give you different patterns of psychometric depending upon how different patterns have come in past. Okay. However, once we are done with MICAT 1, for MICAT 2 we will provide you 4 to 5 more psychometric tests depending basis the pattern which would come in MICAT 1, so that you have good enough practice. Okay, but for MICAT 1 we have tried to give you different psychometric patterns in the course. Now let me start from some initial questions which some of you asked. A quick recap of psychometric for the benefit of all of you. First, psychometric, you need to qualify. You need to qualify. It's a qualifying test. You miss out at qualifying psychometric, you will not get the call, no matter how much high you score, in the aptitude paper or in CAT or XAT. Remember, in psychometric, you need to attempt each and every question. And this is one area where last year when suddenly, so because say year before MICA gave around 30 questions in psychometric. Last year they gave 150 questions. Now that was the difference, because when suddenly 150 questions came in psychometric, a lot of people ended up missing out at 1, 2 or 3 questions, and which meant immediate disqualification. Whether you get 150 questions, whether you get 40 questions, you get 100 questions, you get 20 questions, you need to ensure in psychometric that you attempt each and every question of psychometric. You do not leave any question unattempted. Depending upon number of questions you get, you change your speed, but attempt every question of psychometric. Second, on the aptitude side, remember that every section is going to have a sectional cutoff. For MICAT aptitude, typically as per past trends, cont cutoff has usually been around 4 to 5 marks. We have seen last year people getting the calls even at 5 marks as the cont score. 7, if you scored 7 in cont, you are on the safe side. Try to score 7 in cont and you will be all safe. Do not miss out by giving out a lot of marks in negative, especially say if you are weak in cont. If you are weak in cont, just pick out those 7-8 questions which you will get 100% correct. Do not attempt anything else, but ensure that your marks are not falling below 7 in cont to be on the safest side. Similarly, in the GK part, your cutoff will be around 8 to 9 marks. In verbal, your cutoff will be around 9 to 10 marks. In convergent divergent thinking, your cutoff is going to be around 11 to 12 marks. I am talking about the scaled score, Sumedh. I am talking about scaled score. But in cont, typically your raw score is equal to your scaled score, because there is someone who scores 25 out of 25 in cont. So in cont, your raw score will always be equal to your scaled score. It is just in other sections that your scaled score will be few marks higher than your raw score. Janvi, we have we don't have any questions on brands in the first few mocks, because last year there was hardly any question on brands. I'm not sure if you analyzed last year's paper. Last year's MICAT GK was entirely surprising one for everyone. There was no question on brands. There were 7 to 8 questions on geography. Never happened in the history of MICA. So we are keeping you ready for every kind of surprise which you can get in the examination. MICA has been frequently changing their pattern. They have been moving towards building a marketing institute rather than an advertising institute now, and that is why they have made con tougher, because to be a successful marketing manager you need to be good in maths, and that is why MICA has made their cont also very tough, almost at par with the cat cont over last 3 to 4 years. So MICA has been changing their pattern. Last year was a surprise. GK 7 to 8 questions, geography no questions of brand, no question of advertising, no question of taglines last year. So we need to be ready for everything. Topics to focus on, for GK, Aditi. As I said, there is a business awareness ebook in your course. Please go through it. There is a advertising GK ebook. Go through it. There is a geography ebook. Go through it. There are fact sheets. Please go through fact sheets of last 4 months to cover the current affairs. Last year, apart from geography, current affairs also dominated the GK section a lot. Okay, so these are the first few ebooks which you need to cover first. Once you are done with this, then you can go for sports ebook and you can go for books and authors ebook. But business awareness ebook is very important. Except last year when there were no business awareness questions, every year we have seen at least 3 to 4 questions coming in the exam from business awareness ebook which we provide. So please ensure that you have studied the business awareness ebook to be on the safe side. Okay, now a lot of questions have been coming on the cutoffs. Whether you take CAT, whether you take ZAT, or whether you take GMAT, what is most important for your GPI call at MICA is your descriptive writing performance. People have got the calls, as I've said in earlier sessions also, people have got the calls at 70, 72 percentiles in CAT and ZAT. People have got the calls at 540 GMAT score. People have not got the calls at 99 percentile in CAT and ZAT, or even at a 720 in GMAT. People have not got the calls. All depends upon your descriptive writing, how good it is, how bad it is. So you need to be good in descriptive writing, as I have been telling to some of you in the feedback, and we have been discussing in the MICAT WhatsApp group also. For descriptive writing, please prepare a template of yourself. Best way is to prepare one or maximum of 2 templates, whatever, and you go to the exam with a predetermined template. Whatever pictures you get, you put the story in it. This will help you in 2 ways. First, you will save time. Time is very important. You have very less time to attempt 4 questions. If you go with a template, you don't spend your time in thinking the plot. You only spend your time in how to fit in the pictures. So you save time. Second, you don't need to worry a lot about on the spot creativity. You already are going to the exam with a predetermined story, with a predetermined creativity in your story. You don't need to worry about creativity in the exam. So that's why having your template is very, very important. Second, when it comes to descriptive argument writing, please ensure that you are adding real life examples, facts and figures in your argument writing. That is something which is going to get you brownie points. So that's very important. Safe overall raw score, Sumedh, will be somewhere around 50% marks. 50% raw score is safe. Super safe. Or say if you just want to clear the cutoff, 45% raw score of your overall marks is a good score, is a good raw score to clear overall cutoff. Now, Vatsal, this is an interesting question. A lot of people ask this, that what happens if my descriptive writing in MICAT 2 is better or what? So they don't consider it. So first of all, suppose there is a scenario, first of all, in whether when they are comparing your MICAT 1 and MICAT 2, wherever you have not cleared psychometric test, that MICAT is gone. They will only consider your MICAT where you have cleared psychometric test. Then they will see in which MICAT have you cleared the sectional cutoff and the overall cutoffs in the aptitude paper. Your MICAT in which you have cleared the sectional cutoff and the overall cutoff will be considered and the other one is gone. Now suppose you have cleared your sectional cutoff and the overall cutoff in both the MICATs and you are scoring X1 and X2. Then they will see your descriptive writing in both the MICATs. Whichever combination of your marks in aptitude and descriptive writing in one holistic MICAT exam, in one single MICAT exam, whichever combination is going to give you the call, they are going to consider it. MICAT 1 score plus MICAT 1 descriptive, or MICAT 2 aptitude plus MICAT 2 descriptive. Whatever is going to result in your call, they will consider that. I hope I could explain you, Vatsal. That is how your selection process is going to be. Anushka, yes, writing the order of images in descriptive writing is an expected thing. However, if you miss out, you don't get disqualified because of it. But yes, ideally you should be writing the sequence in which you are going to cover the images in the story. Okay, so I hope I could answer both Vatsal and Anushka. Now coming to the part of what topics could you focus on. For GK, I've already told you the topics, right? For GK, you know what topics to study. For quant, I will stress you to focus on arithmetic and geometry. Arithmetic and geometry are going to be very critical for your quant. From verbal perspective, vocabulary is going to play a decider. RCs are usually very easy in MICAT. Vocabulary is going to play the decider. Convergent divergent thinking section will have 60% questions from word association. So word association is very important, which will be followed by number of questions from visual reasoning. So word association and visual reasoning are very, very, very important. So these are the important topics from different sections. Difficulty level of aptitude test will be similar to the difficulty level of CAT. For your quant, verbal will be easier than CAT. GK and convergent divergent thinking are independent. Typically these two sections are of moderate level, but quant difficulty level will be same as that of CAT. And hence the MICAT quant is tougher than the GMAT quant and at par with CAT quant and slightly easier than ZAT quant. That's how the difficulty level of different sections are placed for them, and this is independent of the timing, because with the reduction in the timing they are also going to reduce number of questions. Aditi, yes, the sequence of images should be written before you start your story. So you will first write the sequence and then you will start the story. Is it clear? Any I have also shared certain past stories of certain students in the group. Please go through it. That will help you to understand that when I say that include creativity, when I give you the feedback that include dialogues, include characters, what do I mean? When I say that describe the situation using certain words, build the characters, build the environment, etc. You know, so please go through those sample stories. They are going to help you, right? And people, please focus on your descriptive writing. Take a day to build your own template. Do not go to the exam without a template. You will end up wasting time. And just like psychometric, remember that in descriptive writing also attempting each and every question is very important. You need to attempt all the 4 questions. I have seen in some descriptive writing tests that people do very good in 2 questions and then they get average in 3rd question and then they under attempt or unattempt the last question. That's not how it's going to work for you in the exam. You need to be above average in all the 4. You cannot be very good in 1 and average in 2 and under average in 1. That's not going to lead to your qualification. To get to the qualification mark, you need to be above average at least in all the 4 questions. So please focus on your speed, focus on your time management. Ideally, I will suggest that spend around 15 to 20 minutes on story writing and remaining time on your argument writing. That is what I typically suggest as the time management approach for your descriptive writing paper. Deep, as I said, next 2 to 3 days, take one descriptive writing test daily, take one MICAT aptitude test daily, and then revise arithmetic and geometry, revise vocabulary, and study GK. Yes, Ishan, it has been reduced to 25 minutes. In that case, you will be spending around 12 to 15 minutes on your story writing and the remaining time on your argument writing. Argument writing points, as I said, you need to write 3 bullet points. So in argument writing, you get 3 questions. The first 2 questions of argument writing, they need to be in the form of bullet points. You need to write 3 bullet points. Average length of a bullet point, 12 to 15 words. Third answer of argument writing, you need to write in paragraph. It needs to have 100 to 150 words. Story writing, anything above 200 words. Okay, Sanjot, I guess I could answer your question. Forum, I guess I answered your question on the time management. Ishan's question also. Any more questions, anyone? Any more questions? Dhruv, I could not see your question. Can you re-ask it? Khushbu, any more questions from your side? Anushka, Dhruv, Pashav, Shagun, Deep, Tanya, Jayesh, Pratik, Janvi, Sumed, Aditi, Ishan, Sai, Divya, any more questions? Dhruv, the only tip for increasing typing speed is to practice. There is nothing else but practice which is going to help you to increase your typing speed. When I say write the story in first person, I mean that do not use pronouns, do not write in passive voice. Use the names and say Rajesh was talking to John, and then and he said, and then double quotes, so show the quotation, rather than saying that it was said to John by Rajesh that do this. That's the difference. Yes, Vatsal, story, ideally your story should be in first person. Shagun, it's okay if you exceed the time, exceed the word count. You don't get negative marking for exceeding the word count, but you need to ensure that whatever your word count is in excess also, you do not leave other questions under attempted. Deep, you should ideally be attempting your strongest section first, then moving to your weakest section. There is no I. I is the wrong pronoun to use. Why do you want to use I? Why can't you use a name instead of I? Using I and writing the entire story around I shows that you don't have creativity. Aditi, as I said, out of 25 minutes, try to spend around 12 to 15 minutes on story and the remaining time on the argument writing. Jayesh, you might 300 words is typically given as the overall limit and not for every question. Your first 2 argument writing points are never to be written in 300 words, and not even the third argument writing answer has to be written in 300 words. You cannot complete the paper. I tell you to write 1200 words in 35 minutes. Even if I go by the previous year pattern, you cannot do it. Forum, as I said in the psychometric video also, which is there in your course, the best way to not to contradict yourself is to go for extremely good answers. Do not worry about whether what you are answering is true or not true. Go for extreme good answers which make you come out as a strong manager, creative person, leader, and ethical person. Ishan, I have told 45% raw score, which will lead to almost 50% scaled score. Forum, you don't need to remember. You need to just mark extremely good answers. Extreme. I give you what's the team size you have led? 4, 5, 6, 7. Mark 7. I give you that. Do you strongly agree that you have strong leadership skills? Don't say that somewhat agree. Say strongly agree. Always go for extremely good answers. You will never contradict. Okay. Any more questions, anyone? I guess I could answer most of your queries. Anushka, you mark neutral when the given statements are almost say slightly disputive in nature. If you will mark agree or disagree, you will come out in either way, you will come out as a wrong person. In that case, you mark a neutral answer. 90% of your answers should ideally be not neutral, because marking neutral means that you are a person with no stand. So try to have minimum possible answers as neutral. Yes, Vatsal, we will provide you more psychometric tests tomorrow. Deep, there is no record of last year's paper. It's an online paper. No website can provide you the actual exact last year paper. We can only provide you the argument writing topic and the images which came last year, but aptitude we can't. Okay. Any more questions, anyone? Ishan, Sai, Divya, Janvi, Sumit, Sanjot, Aditi, Tanya, Pratik. Perfect. Guys, I'll be there on WhatsApp group. I may take say a couple of hours to respond, but I will definitely respond to all your questions. All of your pending feedbacks will be given to you by late tonight. So don't worry. Focus on your MICAT preparation. Do not get distracted with Snap or Zat for next 3 days. Just focus on your MICAT preparation. You already know which topics to focus on. So focus on those topics. I'm just a message away to help you out with any of your queries, any of your last minute queries, anything. Let's go and ace the exam. Don't worry about how your CAT went. Don't worry about your CAT. Don't worry about your ZAT. Let's do something really good in your descriptive writing, that irrespective of your CAT, ZAT or GMAT score, you end up getting the calls. Okay. Great. So thank you everyone. Good night, and keep preparing well. For anything else, we are connected on WhatsApp group anyway. Great. Thank you everyone. Good night.